Bruce Mobile. All right, y'all. Today we got ourselves a 2018 Peterbilt. This is a 579 truck. Is that what it is? Yeah, guys. So we're essentially gonna do a service on this truck. PM service, oil, fuel filters, and then he wants me to adjust his road speed. He also mentioned that he's having a issue with his power steering. He's having a hard time turning this thing left and right. But within 3 minutes of being on the job site, we've already found this issue. As y'all can see, that power steering reservoir is totally empty. Not only that, if you sit here for a while and watch it, you'll see it dripping out of here. So this thing is rusted out essentially, and it's leaking right from the reservoir itself. So yes, guys, these guys just bought this truck. I don't know what is with these guys and buying these rusty trucks, but this thing is essentially a rust bucket. Had I looked at this truck, did a pre-purchase inspection, I would have told these guys to run. I don't care how sweet the deal is. Rust is not a good sign. He's already having issues with that. So anyway, guys, on with the PM service. Let's dive in. Stay tuned towards the end of the video if you want some exclusive content as to how to set road speed and what kind of diagnostic tools I use. And then we'll probably come back and repair this reservoir. But with that being said, we're gonna dive in. To be honest, guys, this is my first time service on one of these, but for the most part, all these engines all the same. Look, it's just leaking. You see it dripping right there. Watch it. But yeah, guys, so right here we have our fuel filter. That's our drop-in fuel filter we'll be servicing. This is our other fuel filter, fuel water separator filter. Then on the other side, guys, follow me, we have our oil filters. Notice I said filters because this one comes with two different drop-in oil filters type deals. One's like a cartridge and one's a drop-in. So I think we're going to go ahead and just start with the oil first. Go ahead and let it drain out, and then I'll go on to the fuel side because I like to just go right on to starting this truck right after you service the fuel filters, because it likes to kind of leak downwards. The fuel filters kind of soak up the fuel. Hopefully we got enough fuel. I didn't check for that. I know last service I was running a little bit low, but we'll see. Drain plug right here on the bottom of it. So look like you're going to need a hex to loosen the drain plug. So not really sure what size. We'll get into details with that in just a bit. So all right, y'all, let's commence on this service. All right, y'all, so we're about to drain this oil. I've got my sockets ready. It turns out the drain plug on this one is a H10. You may have different drain plug applications, but this one's probably going to be the standard, the H10. It's very common on a lot of these big trucks. And then for the filters, just about all the filters are going to be a 32mm socket. Fits snug right on there. I'm going to start by running the oil. So let's get in here. Hopefully this ain't too rusty. And just break it. Once we get it broke.
No mess.
This truck should still be kind of warm. The driver just got out of it not too long ago, so we're not even gonna worry about running it and doing that. So this oil should still drain out pretty rapidly. And there we go. Let her rip. Got a little bit on my knit leg just there. A little splash. Yep. And it should come with a new crush washer, I would imagine. So you want to replace that, if you will. We'll let that drain, do its thing. Move on up here to the actual filters while that's draining. You can time out this way. Alright guys, so we got our filters out. Like I said, this is my first time servicing a Paccar. I don't usually work on these types of engines, but we're figuring this thing out as we go. Make sure you remove this thing here. It sits here. It's going to prevent you from loosening the oil filters. I just pried it straight up and it came out, and then it will allow me to screw off my oil filters here, which now I got this out. The first oil filter here, this is the old one, the long one, and we're going ahead and replace the seal as well while we're at it. It's the new seal. Going with that first, and then just route it around, put it right on there. And then there's a trick to installing and uninstalling these oil filters here. You have to screw it in. It locks itself into place. That's how you undo it. But we want to lock it and then drop it right in there. You want to torque this down to, I believe, 70 Newton meters. So we're just gonna tighten it nice and snug. So we're gonna do there. And then this other one, it's like a cartridge that sits in there, and it sits in there just like that. Or I believe like that. So, and then you just screw that on there. So, where's the new one actually?
Right here.
That's all we're gonna do is take the new one, set it right in there on top, and then try to line it up when we go to put it back together with the top piece. There's a little insert that this nipple sets in, and that's how you essentially replace the oil filter. So once you get it started, we know for the most part you should have it lined up. And it's a screw on, nice and easy.
It's rusty.
Well, it says pre-lubricated, so even if it's rust, this should never get rusty with the oil. But never say never, you know. So this is essentially not working for me. I'm gonna go ahead and put it on this end and see if that works better. I'm having a hard time getting it started. So just trying to learn tricks to this. On the job training right here, guys. Don't claim to know everything, but you can damn sure figure it out. So once we get it started, we know we in there. We're just gonna tighten these up, install our drain plug. Once we're done with this, put this little thing back in and move on to the fuel filters. All right, guys, so now we're gonna change this fuel water separator. We're gonna need a special wrench for this. This is the wrench you'll need, part number 61130. So make sure you have one of those on hand if you want to change this filter. We're gonna start first by opening up this top lid. Open that up to alleviate this vacuum. We're gonna go underneath the filter and drain out all the fuel. There's some good fuel in there. Not too bad after all. And yeah, there is a little bit of clunk in there. If you can see a big chunk of, like, can you see it in there? I don't know if you guys can see that, but yeah, there it is, right there. Right here. Yep. So that was junk that was in there. So that's what essentially we're cleaning out. now that we've got that emptied out, we can now remove this here case. This is a really tight space, you guys, so just kind of work with it the best you can. Hopefully it's not on too tight, which it shouldn't be, and it isn't, so that's good. You don't have to tighten this too crazy when you're going back in with your new one. But you just want to spin this off, spin that off, and this is the replacement one that's going to go in there. You're going to replace the O-rings that come with it. There's one that sits here on this cap, but you're going to go ahead and replace that now while we're here. Do that one. Then there's one inside this cap. So screw that off, get it nice and loose. This one sits here. So get that out of the way. And you're just gonna line it up around the dome. Just like that. That one's ready to rock. Put it out of the way for now, because we gotta remove this. Be careful, there's still some fuel that'll spill out of here. Try to get it all out if you can. Inspect it. Make sure it's not too much crud in there. If there is, you might want to clean it out, which there is some good little bit of algae in here. That's the algae that kind of collects over time that lets you know, like this fuel does get dirty, guys. Not too bad though. Just clean out what you can if you can. That's why it's good to kind of drain all this fuel out. So that being said, that's what I'm gonna do, because he's got some trash in there. So let's continue just draining all this out. Try to get as much of this trash out as we can. That's why it's not draining, because it's clogged up with trash or algae. Get all that trash out of here. We're gonna drain that out completely. Give them a fresh start. So it's got a good little bit of trash in this thing. Yuck. Okay, so essentially that's good. A lot more trash in there now. That's why I wasn't all draining out, because it was clogged up. So definitely do your inspection when you go to put your new filter in. And all this does is just drop right in. A little seal there, it lines up with that hole. Bam. Then we're gonna fill this thing back up with fresh fuel. Let me get this bucket. Actually, yeah, let's go ahead and just top it off while we got it here. So we can fill it up a little bit quicker. And this filter is gonna suck up, so you're gonna have to keep topping it off. This filter is gonna wanna suck this fuel up. All right. Put our cap back on. All right, you can time lapse it. All right, y'all, so essentially we are draining, or we remove the fuel filter. These things are on, kind of weld themselves on here pretty tight, so make sure you have a good ratchet when you're getting this out. Plenty of leverage on it. So yeah, because it's a sealed system, so it kind of pulls a vacuum, and you just pop these bad boys right on out like that. And then we're gonna get our new one here in place. Have it upside down, have it upside down. Yeah, so there's a hole in this side where it slides down inside, and this side got these little bevels on here that where it locks into the Fuel filter housing just like that. Don't forget to replace your O-ring. Did it come with some grease? There's any grease in that box? Just replace your O-ring like that. Doesn't look like it came with. We prime this thing up real quick and just keep, you turn this counterclockwise, the plunger will come up, and then you just keep pumping it until it gets firm. What I like to do sometimes to help me get this thing primed a little bit quicker, I'll take this cap off here so it can vent, and then start priming it, and you'll see the fuel start going down, but don't let it go too far down. And then you want to cap it back off, cap this back off. I'm gonna have T go in there and start the engine. Go ahead and start it. Hopefully the thing should fire up on the first try. Go in there, take it in there with you.
Hello?
No, bada bing, bada boom. Sound good. Essentially, as far as servicing the oil and the fuel, our job here is done. I'll check and see if there's a reset light, an oil check light up in here. If there is, we'll do a video on, we'll try to show you guys how to reset it. But aside from that, it is done. We're gonna check the oil when we get it done running for a little minute, about 5 minutes or so. And that'll complete our PM. Not forget anything else, am I? We are going to go ahead and grease this truck, do a general inspection, but grease it is grease is grease is grease. You're going to check all your grease zerks and your grease fittings. If you guys want me to make a separate video on greasing trucks, let me know. Drop a comment in below. I'll show you how that goes. Until then, guys, appreciate you tuning in. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that like button, that subscribe button if you ain't already done it. And we'll catch you guys on the next episode. Smoke.